lights are mysterious from somewhere in the universe. Planets and quasars with all kinds of hidden mysteries in the galaxy. NASA hiding secrets and astronauts discovering things. Mysterious societies from a far-along galaxy. Societies on Earth that have been destroyed with their own hidden secrets. Mysterious objects that surface from nowhere and yet are unexplained on how to use. Whole temples full of ruins, secrets, and hidden treasures. And most of all, objects from outer space that come with visitors that only want one thing. You're watching Hidden Truths.
Hello, and welcome once again to Hitting the Truth. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Welcome to Hitting the Truth, where we're trying to find out what's real, what's not real in the supernatural, parasupernormal, alien, scientifical discovery world. You know what I mean? The mysteries of the dark, the depth of the deep. That's where we are. You know what I'm saying? So today we got a couple videos. I'm not going to try to be long on these videos. I'm just going to state my opinion on how I feel about these things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so what we got here is a video of that meteor that they say is a spaceship and whatnot. And it's pretty much the main thing that everyone's talking about right now. Next is some stuff that happened in Congress with people who have claimed to be in the military that shot a spacecraft that moved beyond the speed of any human craft. I also have that video. It's very long. It's 3 hours long. But we would sit there and go over everything they talk about that has to do with extraterrestrials and the government's involvement. It would be a very long video. So one of these days I'm going to do it. I'm be tired as all hell. I might be falling asleep while I'm talking and watching it with you guys. But it's something worth check out. But anyway, let's get into this video. Okay, that's pretty much the video. That's pretty much it. Just showing it flying through space. You see it got some kind of propulsion thing in the back. At the same time, some kind of lighting grid going on through the whole thing. But it looks like it's a meteor because of the stuff that's all around it. Look like dust or rock material. What I can say, because I've seen many videos about this thing, I haven't talked about it because, hey, everyone else talking about it, but you know, why not? I'm going to say it makes sense that there would be a meteor-looking spaceship because if you think about it, they're flying all over the place. They're bouncing around in space, these meteors, these asteroids, and so forth. They got different names once they hit Earth. It becomes a meteor. I think it's a meteorite if it hits Earth or whatnot. And then an asteroid is supposed to be made of solid ice, if I'm not mistaken. There's different levels and different materials that make these things up, and no matter where they come from in the universe. But if you think about it, more should be hitting Earth, more should be hitting the moon, and maybe the moon's the reflector, the big shield to protect Earth. But once again, if Earth's spinning around constantly and the moon is just like there and it moves slightly all the time, and whatever, maybe it doesn't move at all, who knows? Because hey, I've been watching these flat earth theories because hey, we're trying to hit the truth. Everything's hitting my noggin and I'm getting confused now. But my point is, this thing could be legit. This could be half the reason why meteors, asteroids, and things don't hit Earth is because their steady have already, motions and aliens inside of them, driving them, riding them around. I don't know what you want to call it. I want to say like guiding them or moving them, but I mean, I guess you would say driving them at this point by watching this video, because obviously something's moving it. They were saying it moves light years or something like that, and this is when I first got a hold of this meteor craft, whatever you want to call it. Haven't even got close to the Milky Way galaxy yet. Now they're claiming it's been in the Milky Way galaxy, it's been around Mars, it's been around the sun, it's coming back this way, all kinds of ways. So whatever this purpose of this thing is, maybe it's just marking territory of all life forms in the universe. I tend to believe. Now other people don't, and I just listen to them. But I tend to believe that mankind is arrogant when they think that they're the only species in the universe. I mean, yeah, God says, that we're the most loved of His creations. But who's to say His creations only last on Earth? And if He made the universe before He made Earth, that means there's other things in the verse. Sometimes when you create something, you make many mistakes. And you got to start over. Maybe you might want to draw the same thing again. Maybe something that you made a mistake of is actually perfect, but you don't know it is. And so you just keep making things until you get to what you find to be the most perfect of your creations. And that's what we are. Earthlings, the humans, are supposed to be the most perfect of God's creations. But it does not mean we're the only creation. So I think it's arrogant to say that mankind is the only being that can occupy a planet that's supposed to have intelligent, logical thinking. And there's a lot of people out there who ain't intelligent and don't have logical thinking, but they have the ability to talk, and so they think they are on that level of intelligent being. So, anyway, my point is, plain and simple, I can believe maybe that they constructed something to be able to fly around, would be undetected, and the meteor would make sense. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Leave a comment or whatnot if you got something to say. Yeah. So this next video is about this guy who's talking about a lot of alien species. Some of them I've heard recently or a couple years back on my podcast, Moral High Ground. I interviewed a guy that said he's been to Area 51. I actually interviewed him 3 times to try to make sure that his stories was accurate. Towards the 3rd time they were getting less accurate. Plus he was getting older. So I don't know if it was because he was getting older and he's starting to forget, or the fact that he was just, making a story up. Never was quite sure. But he mentioned these Pleiadians, and then there was also this guy that was younger, kind of doped up, talking about these things all the time. And I have no idea what the hell they're talking about, because when they gave me, both of them told me there's a YouTube video on it, and I checked it out. And I think it's a load of bullshit. It pretty much explained that any human could be these Pleiadian things. If you actually pay attention to what they're saying, the qualities of these things are, what they look like, and everything else. Anyway, I'll quit talking about it. We're just going to get into this video of this guy explaining all these alien species that are supposed to have been in contact with humans, especially people in the United States of America. Okay. This is the video. As you see in the top, you have 5 different alien species. And so 5 of these species supposedly interact with us. So let's just hear out what this guy says. But the one I'm talking about, that I've heard about multiple times through an interview with a guy that was at Area 51 and a couple other people, is this guy in the middle with the blonde hair. They talk about these Pleiadians, as they call them. And they say they visit us. Some of them's been here, some of them are here. We are them, like some of us are them, like they bred in our culture. And I was arguing with one guy, like, hey, they're supposed to be blonde haired and blue eyed and all this crap, right? Oh no, they're bred in the black society and Native American society too, and Mexicans and da. And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, how do you know? Right? Then I watched some video, and it made it seem like they're humans if you pay attention to the characteristics. Like what they're talking about, a separation from how they are to humans, but everything that seems like they are, even your little mental illness, your little quirks, your little ADD, all that has to do with you being a Pleiadian. So this culture to me is full of crap. And I'm just saying, the alien culture is full of crap. It's Pleiadians. Okay? That's just my opinion. So we're going to get with the video. I'll shut up and, well, for a little while.
And he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria.
Well, I know I can't tell you who it was and what it was, but yeah. I can't really tell you. I'd love to tell you actually, but it's not a big deal. But,
it's not something frightening.
No, but I just you know, so obviously it's something that I know about, and it's not a problem at all.
Okay, so what we just saw was the video of the guy explaining about Trump knowing about these aliens, Trump explaining his knowledge of the aliens and how they're not a threat. He didn't really get into the whole species, but there's enough of them there, and Pleiadians seem to be the one that's glorified because they're the blonde-haired, blue-eyed aliens. What you say about that? I mean, gee golly. This seems pretty World War II-ish to me. I'm trying to find a normal way to say it. But anyway, the thing is this, okay? If there is other species, aliens or beings or humanoids or hybrids, then I think it's something that needs not just to be addressed, but something to where it needs to be contained in a way where people don't go crazy, because mass hysteria, like the guy said, is something that would happen. But I tend to believe a species or anything that can come into our society and try to either live would be in harm's way, as well as people will freak out because it's something they don't understand. But if you were to put something in society that hates all humans and wants to devour us and doesn't discriminate, it just takes out all humans, no matter what skin color, size, shape, creed, you know, I think it would be beneficial to humans, because it will knock out all the nonsense that we go on about that separates us and makes us come together, because, hey, we got to find a way to keep our kind alive. We got to keep our beings going, our, you know, hell, our very essence on this planet going. We have to connect with each other in a way that hasn't been done before in history, probably since the beginning of time. But if you found something that posed a threat like that, would it be easier to eliminate, or something that would be hard to, I don't know, make peace with or kill off? I mean, it's just a concept. You got to think many different ways, because you never interacted with anything outside of the human race before. And even if you have, you're a conspiracy nut, and you probably decide to be on this show. And if you decide to be on this show, you can simply just go and write on Discord what it is your experience is, what you've seen, okay? You know, you get your ghouls gobbled, you know what I'm saying? Your ghost, ghouls, gobs, vampires, vamped, you know, I don't know, just honestly, just whatever it is. Just come on and leave your thing on Discord, and I will explain it, show you a video, I will talk for you, and plain and simple, you can even have a little thing where you're talking yourself. You don't have to be on camera, but you can explain your story, and then it will be debated, and so forth. And so, that's pretty much it. We can move on to the next video. Okay, this next video here clearly states a UFO sighting in Miami, Florida. So, we're just going to get into it. As usual, we're getting into it. We're going to try to find out the truth behind these aliens eventually, even if Trump doesn't want to expose what he knows, or the rest of the world. Someone knows the truth, and they're out there.
Provided is for educational or informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice. Traffic tip line 8866676.
477 from the traffic center of James, Birmingham.
Don't let biased algorithms.
Provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice. Provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Traffic tip line 866-676-477 from the traffic center of James, Birmingham.
Don't let biased algorithms.
Provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Okay. Well, very interesting video. From the side view, at one point, it didn't look like a alien spacecraft. What it looked like was a cosmos, or a universe being created. Let's see if I can go back to that point when I saw it. Now right there, obviously, it's not a solid object. It's not, if anything, the solid object is in the center there, which looks like a landmass if you ask me, as well as like stars or some kind of sun. It's all around there. Why would a new galaxy be forming straight in the center in the middle of the night in our atmosphere? That's crazy. It's straight madness. But for some reason, it could be a mini galaxy that hasn't been established yet, but can travel until it finds a place where it wants to establish its own, I don't know, universe, galaxy within the universe. I have no idea. I'm confused, but this is what it is. Anyway, moving on. So, what I have to say about that video we just watched is, honestly, I think what we saw was a mini galaxy. Why is it here visiting, pretending to be a spacecraft? I don't know. But it could still be the same thing, like as if it was that meteor that's actually a spaceship. It's trying to disguise itself to be something it's not. Or maybe just aliens, like it came up with a new model of a craft, like I said before in a past video. You know, they got to upgrade. Like we upgrade every year on cars, you know. Cars start looking different, cooler, better, smoother, you know, or permanently, you know, just jacked up, because, you know, they change them up now. There's no bumpers, but they're made of fiberglass, you know, that stupid nonsense. But yeah, who knows? Supposed to be aerodynamic. So I have no idea. So let's move on to another video. So what you're about to see is a video of a Japanese asteroid, or asteroid that got captured in Japan.
Primeras imágenes del temido objeto 13 Atlas fueron captadas por una sonda china. El objeto se encuentra cerca del Sol en esta fecha, 29 de octubre de 2025, y seguía tranquilamente su trayectoria prevista. El problema es que en las últimas horas los sensores han confirmado algo que no debería estar sucediendo. El 13 Atlas está cambiando su ruta, lentamente, y rodeando el Sol. Para los astrónomos esto es simplemente imposible. Ningún cuerpo natural podría alterar su propio curso en este punto de la órbita sin sufrir una desintegración completa por la radiación solar. Aún así, el objeto permanece intacto, girando lentamente, reflejando la luz del Sol de forma extrañamente simétrica. Primeras imágenes del temido objeto 13.
So that's it. I really don't know what the hell this is. You know, when I say captured, you know, video captured. No one captured the ship, or whatever it is. Okay, asteroid, whatever. But that's what it looks like right here in this dead center. You could say it could be a spaceship. You know, you could say it could be anything of that nature, because it does kind of look like it's designed that way. But we simply don't know. Moving on to the next video. Okay, we're going to talk about this last video of the day. The last video is a video of a family noticing there's a spacecraft in the middle of the air above their house. honestly, the land you own is within a certain perimeter. Now, what's above your house, you're supposed to own that airspace too. Everything from your house is going straight up. Now, people can't really sit back and take the time to do that and figure out how exactly it goes, because everyone believes Earth is in a curvature area, like, it goes in a curve. So they think that, well, it's just land I own. But you supposedly own the airspace above your property. If you don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, for people who don't know that. So, literally, if people wanted to, you should be able to get these damn aliens in their spacecrafts that's above your property. You should be able to blow them up with a shotgun. But if you do that, you might doom us the whole planet. So don't doom the whole planet trying to capture aliens to prove a point. And don't tell people you heard that from me. So, moving on, let's watch this clip. Okay, so this video, I'm not going to say it's a hoax like the one video I watched one time, but I think this is some stuff that's a little bit corny. But I haven't watched the whole thing. I only watched like about, 4 or 5 seconds. So here we go.
It's a UFO for real. Look at the UFO. Oh, we not making this shit up. Look at her. She gonna put. It's a UFO for real, y'all. That is crazy. Y'all, that's crazy. It's a UFO for real, y'all. Y'all, the aliens coming.
I'll say this, you don't see nobody trapped in their laser beam or tractor beam like you would in that one video when I saw the spaceship going to New York. This is just a straight beam. But it's just funny. They just like, come on, man. What the hell? Oh man, almost had a perfect shot there. I could go back, but I don't know.
To get a hold of yourself.
Oh, there it goes again.
Ain't nobody stopping me.
Okay. There you go. There's a bigger thing. I'll just explain it in the next scene. I'm not going to explain it here where you're looking down at this. Oh my God. Okay, what do I got to say about this video that we just watched, okay? You're like... Stupid. Okay, first off, a black family sees a UFO. Now, instead of just like, oh God. First, okay, they see the UFO, they gotta be all ghetto about it. Then all of a sudden, their rap music comes on. Okay, this is like, it's like the biggest meme ever of UFOs. It's like, you turn the UFOs into comedy. If there were UFOs and aliens coming out in that neighborhood, they would get so hoodified so quick, they'd be gangster. Okay, and then on top of that, it'd be ridiculous, and the next thing you know, we got, I don't know, man, we got aliens running around acting like they're like, straight hood, and then the ship gets pimped out, you know what I'm saying? They gotta get exhibit to pimp they ride. It's just, I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense. That was crazy and corny, just like the one of all the people in the resort And, you know, those crazy ass folks that walked around going, "Oh, look, the aliens was coming," and all this crap. And come on, y'all, why you gotta do better, people? You gotta do better, because honestly, we don't know what poses a threat and what doesn't. But this is something where if something is a threat, y'all just made it so comical that some people will walk up and go, "Hey, aliens," and the aliens shoot you. It'd be like a Mars attack, and then, you know, pop, and they shot you, you know, and you turned into some weird something. I don't remember too much of Mars attacks, except for the cows being on fire. But yeah, that was crazy. And that's why it was the last video. I knew it was going to be crazy. It had to be crazy because it just had to be crazy. Whenever there's a group of people, a large group of people in these type of videos, it's always crazy. And it doesn't make any sense. Seriously, why is there a large group? Only time it doesn't make sense when there's a large group is when it's something that comes out of the ocean for some reason. Everyone's shocked. I think it's because they eat seafood, so you're shocked, like, "Oh my God, what is this? Have I ate this before? We don't know if they grind it up," you know, that type of thing. You know, but if it's something above, you're like, "Oh man, oh my," some stupid, you know, it doesn't make any sense. It's weird group hysteria. That's what it is. It doesn't make any sense. If it comes from above, it's like, "Oh, it's a joke." And if it comes from the ocean, you're like, "Oh my God, did I eat that before? I don't know if I ate that." And then it came out of the woods, like, "Oh my God," and you're all trying to run for your life. I have no idea why they do this in videos. But with that being said, this is honest to God truth. Watch enough of these videos, you see what I'm talking about. I'm watching enough. There's different mass hysteria. But this has been the days hitting the truth. And hopefully it was entertaining enough for you. And I'll be back again later with some more stuff. We're going to get to the bottom of something one of these days. Anyway, peace out, y'all. And always remember that you are telling it like it is, and you will get to the truth yourself. I'm going to find a better catchphrase. I don't know. I don't got one. Anyway, later.